expert bankers to give you the advice and support you need. It takes a bank that does more to help start, run, and grow your business. So just go to firstnationalbank.com.gh and opt for one of their consultants to call you back, or you could pop into any of their branches. They're in Accra Mall, Junction Mall, Makola Mall, West Hills Mall, Achimota Mall. They're also in Tema Community 11, Jan Towers, Lodestar Heights, Tema Community 1, Market Circle in Takrade, Snit Complex in Edum, Kumasi. You can also check out their head office branch, which is at the Accra Financial Center building. It's more than just a business for you. That is why they help. First National Bank Ghana is a subsidiary of the First Rand Group of South Africa. First National Bank, how can we help you? As always, every morning, the Arrive Alive campaign is brought to you by Joy News and Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Ghana Company Limited, Toyota Superior Quality, Logistics Movers. We help you relocate and avoid all distractions, by the way. Keep both eyes on the road and hands on the steering wheel. That is how to ensure you drive safe. And of course, the Arrive Alive campaign is something that is an initiative of the National Road Safety Authority. So let me remind you once again of the Toyota Starlet, the latest car from the Toyota Ghana Company Limited. It's a 1.4-liter engine. It's a hatchback. It's beautiful. It's described with versatility, convenience, and elegance. You want to appreciate what Toyota Ghana is putting into this offer for you. You get an early bird price. You also get to enjoy 1 year or 20,000 kilometers of free service and a manufacturer's warranty of 5 years or 150,000 kilometers, whichever comes first. You can buy on credit through special arrangements with their finance partners, so why don't you go visit them? They are in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Tamale, Takwa, and Takrade. You could also call 0302-910-204 to enjoy these great deals. Remember, this offer is valid while stock lasts. Toyota Starlet, a star is born. Toyota Ghana Company Limited is proud to be associated with Joy FM and Joy News' Drive Safe tips of the Super Morning Show. Toyota, superior quality. Now, if you're thinking of the safest, hassle-free, and most secure way of relocating or transporting your goods, then Logistics Movers is here for you with a professional and cost-effective way of moving your office and household items within and outside Accra or wherever you're going on the planet. Logistics Movers has what it takes to put a smile on your face, and that is indeed their hallmark. Call them on 050-127-7363, or you could try 030-291-8349, or send an email to info@logisticsmovers.com. You can also just go to the website, which is, yeah, you guessed it, logisticsmovers.com. Logistics Movers, we help you relocate. Okay, before the news review, time for us to say it right, thanks to Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited. Kingdom, your number one stop for all office essentials and stationery.
Something must be done.
You say either. I say I.
Last week, we spent some time talking about phrases made up of two words with overlapping meanings, making the phrase redundant. Here's another example. I recently read an article online which talked about the fatal killing of Ahmed Swale. Now, while Ahmed Swale was indeed killed, it is important to note that all killings are fatal. The word fatal means resulting in death, so it is safe to assume that if someone or something has been killed, that killing has indeed resulted in death. The phrase fatal killing is therefore redundant. If you want to apply an adverb to describe the nature of the killing, you could say brutal killing, gruesome killing, or even sudden killing. There you are. Another day, another way to say it right.
And that was Say It Right, brought to us by the kindness of Kingdom Books and Stationery. Now, you know, saying it right doesn't come by chance. You need to read the right books early in life. This is why Kingdom Books, your number one stop for books and stationery with over 40 years experience, is offering great discounts on readers and other learning materials to help your kids say it right. Now, these readers, these books and learning materials include phonics, flashcards, Aesop's Fables, Oliver Twist, The Fish That Talked, Emperor and the Nightingale, Growing Up for Girls, Illustrated Classics, Junior Illustrated Grammar, punctuation, and so much more. Go to any branch of Kingdom Books and Stationery to get a good discount on your purchase. You want to know more? why don't you call them? 050-140-1050, or you could try 0244-311-955. All right, let's do it. It's time for the news review. Brought to you this morning, as always, by CompuGhana. Shop at any CompuGhana branch across the nation and get up to 40% discount and free delivery. CompuGhana, passion for technology. So we've got Rhoda, we've got Martin, we've got Joseph, and we've got the headlines as well from the news portals. There are quite a number of them. I'm going to read a few, and then we'll have a bit of a chat about them. First one is actually a headline generated from yesterday's Super Morning Show. Threats on my life won't stop my fight against corruption, Manasseh Azuria Wuni. We pray for a successful and prosperous second... Oh, by the way, that was my Joy Online. I think I mentioned that. We pray for a successful and prosperous second term for Akufo-Addo, NPP. That's also from myjoyonline.com. Also on the same website, NPP to dismiss MMDCEs who contributed to defeat of parliamentary candidates. Interesting. Corruption is business in Ghana. Kwesi Ening said that. And on graphic.com, we have these. Nigeria and South Africa COVID-19 variants should not be compared. Also, NDC and others to mark the 39th anniversary of 31st December Revolution. And Tema police investigate alleged lynching of a middle-aged man. And here are a couple from citynewsroom.com. Ashanti region, fire guts slum in Asokore Mampong. Over 50 residents displaced. NDC's yet to be filed election petition in order, according to the NPP. Let's add a couple from Ghana Web. And these are, again, about attacks on members of the media. This one says, they say they know where I live. GTV journalist reports to police after receiving threats. And robbers raid Captain Smart's mansion, burgle 2 Land Cruisers, 1 Prado, and warn they will return. You know, yesterday, our panelists had a rather interesting discussion with us about press freedom, or what seems to be an erosion of it.
Yeah.
And some of them pointed out that, in their view, the press itself is not doing enough to ensure their freedom and safety. You know, with Manasseh facing death threats, Abdul facing death threats, Captain Smart being attacked. Who's next? But the question is the media doing enough? And I wonder what your take is on that. And if you don't mind, I'll start with Rhoda.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much, Kojo. The point you raise is the media doing enough? I'm not sure of what you mean when you say, is the media doing enough?
So, for example, just to give some context, the suggestion is that the GJA, for instance, ought to be calling on the police every day to give updates on things like the investigation into Ahmed Swale's death, you know, the attacks on Latif Idris. You know, every day, someone from GJA ought to be, you know, asking these questions of the police, putting pressure on them to do the right thing. Not just the police, but other institutions as well. You know, what else do they have to do Monday to Friday?
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be helpful for like interested parties to apply pressure. But we must also not lose sight of the fact that there are state agencies who have a responsibility of ensuring that citizens feel safe, and everybody, irrespective of your trade, you are able to go about your duties. And especially, this is something that borders on freedom of speech. This is a fundamental right, human right. I don't understand why in this day and age, in our democracy, given all that we say about our young democracy, people will still find language other than violence to carry out or to achieve certain objectives. If anybody says anything that you don't disagree, you don't agree with, is there not a decent way, any other way in which you can also air your views or take the person on other than the threat of death or violence? I think these are very, very despicable. We must all condemn such acts. And of course, as you put it...
Some might say it works. You know, I mean... If you do it, you're going to get away with it. Somebody big will come and, you know, bail you out.
So that's the unfortunate part of it. But first of all, this is condemnable. But again, it goes back to the issue of law enforcement. what are state security doing? All the issues that have come up in the past, especially in recent times, relating to some of these threats. What have been the real outcomes of some of these issues? And I think, like you said, if we don't get to the bottom of some of these cases as and when they come up, then obviously we are promoting directly or indirectly impunity for violence, and this really is not going to help us in any way. And I think the call must also fairly go to the police service, the IGP, for them to really step up on getting to the bottom of some of these threats.
Can they? You know, I mean, we have this structure of the police where, well, in essence, they are managed by politicians. You know, that the police is a police council, right? That's their highest body. It's chaired by the vice president. The IGP is appointed by the president. So really, I mean, can they?
No. So, Kujo, you're right. As for the police, you know, there's a lot of executive pressure on them. But in the same breath, too, I can't come to terms with the fact that the executive would actively be interested in the police not investigating these cases. No, that's not good for us. So I don't want to even give currency to that thought. What it is that sometimes the police themselves, in their overzealousness to please the executive, then tend not to be interested. That's what it is. You see it. So it's as if, okay, we want to do it in such a way that the executive will be pleased that we're doing this. But perhaps the executive is not interested. So the best is, well, even if not the best, let's say one of the commendable ways to go about it is what you're saying. We have to increase the traction on the attacks on journalists. So maybe you should have a dedicated program where these matters will be discussed daily. Daily would do. And then I think one of us mentioned it. Have your reporters follow up with the police. And very frequent, maybe weekly, once a week, somebody will go check up. Because you see, Lateef Idris's own, like you mentioned, till date, we don't have the perpetrator, right? Meanwhile, this young man has suffered very serious injuries, life-threatening ones, right? Yeah, so this is something that we should keep. I think Parker, also here, was also once attacked, right? Yeah, so these are cases that you should follow up. Because, look, we can't continue this way. And you see, sometimes from the commentary, I think because we don't have, a lot of us young people don't have a good command of our history, sometimes we make it look like what you guys are doing is new. But it's not. Our society has always thrived on open journalism, right? Yeah, from the colonial era. You read this book, Murder and Politics in Colonial Ghana. You see newspapers that took on the colonial government. You have some newspapers in favor, others against what the government was doing in those days. And then also, look, if I have this point, yesterday, when I was following this morning show, you guys, Senyo and this and Dr. Youngson and then Elan Krawe, when they mentioned and Clara, when the issue of Manasseh's other attack came in, just give me 1 minute. What I decided to do was that, look, let me look through history, at least one inspiring story to tell Ghanaians that, look, what you guys are doing is not new. We've even had family members come out to point out crime, big crime. And this one, I'm talking about the case of the murder of some, the Odikro of Apija, a chairman, sir, okay, following the death of Oforiatta the First, Ochihini. Yeah, so, there was this custom of burying people, like you sacrifice human beings when a big chief dies and that thing. Yeah, so Achia Mensah was killed following the death of Oforiatta the First. Okay, yeah, that's history. The story, the inspiring part I'm interested in is that, look, at the trial, okay, the Adontinhini, the most senior divisional chief, came and gave evidence, and it favored the prosecution. Okay, Yamreku, the oldest prince, family members, his brother-in-law, and so on and so forth. People came and gave evidence. The stool criers in the Ahimfi came and gave evidence, and it helped to nab the perpetrators, some of whom were the sons of the deceased king, Oforiatta. Okay, so that is to tell you that, look, people who even were kindred, people who were close associates of a very big chief, okay, came out to testify.
Blow the whistle.
Exactly. That's the word. So I see parallels that these are whistleblowers. And that's in 1943. 1943. And some of these guys were executed. There were 8 of them, some of them being sons of the deceased chief and then other relations. Some were executed. I think 2 or so were lucky not to be executed. So please, journalists, watch. Even in the colonial era, we had people who were brave, people who blew the whistle, okay? And so it's a tradition we must keep. Nobody should make it look like everything started with what Manasseh started. No. Even in the 90s, we had Professor Ansah, PV Ansah at the University of Ghana, right? Yes, he wrote. Reku Brobe, not a journalist, but he also wrote freely under the Rawlings regime, you see. So let's do a lot of history. The way we don't have a good command of our history, we all make it look like everything started with Manasseh. No, not at all. I think if we bring up all these things, we'll see that, even if touch wood, you were to harm Manasseh, 1,000 Manassehs will always come up.
Akabe, do you feel inspired or a little bit terrified doing your job today?
I have a bit of an uncomfortable experience from when I was a boy. My uncle was a journalist, actually, Cabral. He was arrested in our house. That was in 99. I was a boy then. I remember very well. He had driven into our house. He was being followed by 2 men who were soldiers who were not in uniforms. They pointed a gun at him. My mom had just given birth. We rushed out of the house, came to the front of the house, and they insisted on taking him away. They tried to call my dad, who was his lawyer. He said that he wanted him to come first. They didn't allow him. They took him away. And so it was a lot of commotion, and I was less than 6 years of age, and I didn't understand what exactly had happened until I grew up a bit and I read his book and I spoke to him about it, and he explained to me that there was an article he had written for the Independent then, that had gone. The military was not happy about it, and so the government of the day then they picked him up. Eventually, pressure was mounted by the international organizations as well as the journalist bodies, and they ended up having him released. And so he explains to me that it has always been there. There's always an attempt by people who disagree with you to use various. It can be using state actors. If they don't have that, they can use violence, getting people to attack you, among other things, to try and put the fear in you. But the other aspect of it that we don't pay attention to is the impact it has on journalists. And so there are people that no longer talk or criticize. There are issues that people listen to radio. Yesterday, people were calling in and saying that you people, you don't talk about certain things. Like, these are the reasons. You hear that someone has been threatened and the person just quickly keeps quiet. Yes, someone has been assaulted. So, for instance, since the Latif incident happened, whenever I go to a place like the CID headquarters, there's a protest or anything, I'm very cautious. Maybe you should be going to a certain place to get information. And so that is the aspect that we don't really pay attention to, the impact it has on our work as journalists. It scares you and
It's funny. Earlier, when Manuel was here with the news, I asked him about it, and he talked about how the public have a role to play. And I've been thinking a lot about that. Because look, you're right. Latif asked a police officer to give him the name of a piece of riot combating equipment that he saw mounted on a vehicle. He asked the name of it and got beaten up. So, I mean, which question will I feel safe to ask a police officer, following that? Now, here's the thing. When that happened, there were people on social media, members of the public, who called Latif names, who said he was too nosy, he was inquisitive, he should have been polite, he doesn't respect these Joy people, right? That's the public, the people on whose behalf we're working. Does that create an untenable situation for the media when the people you are supposed to risk your life for, well, depending on the day, they feel a certain way about it?
In every society, you have this kind of, I don't want to say fringe elements, but there are just some people for act of ignorance. Yes, some too intend it for a joke, but there are some very awkward jokes, okay? In every society, you should expect that. But look, I wish we could talk more about these life-threatening injuries that Latif received. Till date, he's still suffering.
Yes,
he experiences relapses here and there. Sometimes when I see him, I'm like, so as a nation, is that his price? We think this is what he deserves? Because though I'm aware the case is in court, but as a lawyer, look, I don't think anything stops the police service from saying that, look, you know what, we want to take care of all of his medical bills, okay? So that whatever the court decides later, yes, we can always sit down. I think it's also fair. We shouldn't just restrict ourselves, because I'm aware this guy is suffering life-threatening injuries. You guys are aware, and we are just sitting down saying that, oh, when the case is dealt with by the courts, we will see.
And even that one, you are referring to the civil matter.
Yes.
So it's not the case that
Yes,
there's any
excellent.
prosecution of
Excellent.
anyone who committed a crime.
Excellent.
Because nobody is being prosecuted.
No.
Let's make that case.
Yeah.
Let's make that statement clear. Nobody has been identified or prosecuted. And forgive me for hijacking this.
No,
I just
no,
need
no,
to
that's
say-
how it's supposed
I just
to
need
be.
to say this,
Yeah,
okay?
it's important.
Because look, this is a fact. It is impossible in this physical world we occupy that the police is unable to identify those who were on duty at that place at that time. It is physically impossible for that to be the case.
Yeah, you're right.
Yet this is what we are told.
Which makes it really sad. But I think we also must extend a call to government and the Minister for Information. I think there are some of these acts that must be called out, and our silence, government silence and inaction on some of these issues is very not helpful. At the very least, these acts should be openly condemned, so that there's a clear message, there's a clear signal going out to the public that no matter what your issues are with any particular person, you cannot use violence or perpetuate violence to achieve whatever objective you seek to make. So the silence is not helpful, and I'm hoping that in the coming days, probably today or as this issue continues to keep coming up, we'll hear formally from government an open condemnation of what is happening, so that people get the message that we cannot continue to go in this direction. But of course, it's also sad, the earlier point you made about people who sometimes, people who are supposed to be served by journalists and who sometimes also fall for some of these issues. I think, unfortunately, what happens with politics, sometimes when there's just a twist of politics in these issues, when the dialogue has a political angle, there are certain people who just cannot think the way in which we expect them to think, and therefore they resort to all of this. It's very unfortunate that once the subject of politics, a politician, a political party is the subject of a particular conversation or a critique, people just can't accept it. And I don't understand this. We are in a democracy, and we are supposed to be sharing ideas. We are supposed to have the freedom of expression, whatever our views are. And in any case, if we have any particular issue, whether it's about libel, if what somebody is writing about you is not true, or whatever it is, you can pursue an action against that person. There's no way in which we must use violence just because somebody has said something that we are not happy about.
So now Abdul Haimumen has reported, according to a post that he put up on social media and then I think subsequently took down. He's reported to the police that he was also threatened by a gang. They told him they know where he lives and that it would be a very simple matter, to eliminate him. And we've reported this to the police. I mean, he's reported this to the police. But in terms of expectation, are we being realistic if we expect that this matter will be dealt
There are
with in
law enforcement agencies. It's their work to enforce the laws.
Is it a realistic expectation that something will come
Yes,
of this?
yes, depending on the evidence, the availability of the evidence. You see, what happens is that it appears usually if you have some, let me say, concrete evidence immediately, that one the police are pushed to. But where the crime is more of a cyber crime, the police, though I'm aware they have a cyber crime unit, okay?
Yes, led by Dr. Gustav Janssen.
Excellent. Yes, but it doesn't appear we are seeing as much of it as we would expect. So it's all about the evidence. If he has immediate concrete evidence, we'll see results immediately. But if not, then it means that it will drag. Because understand, they then have to look for, when you send a message through these devices, they have the IP address, all those things.
I thought Manasseh's one was via email.
Yes. So it means that you can track the machine that sent it, and you can track the location and all those take a while. I don't know about in terms of the logistics, the competence of the cybercrime unit, but they can seek help. They can seek help to get down to the bottom of this.
Do you know, we need to talk a bit more about this and other issues.
Yes.
We're going to take a break for a moment, though. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy. And Martin Kwekbu is here, Rhoda is here, Joseph is here. And we're, of course, once again, talking about that all-important issue of press freedom, press safety, and whether indeed the institutions responsible for these things to be provided are doing what they should, including us, the media. All right, so there's more to come. First, though, let's say a big thank you to Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy for bringing us the online review. And, you know, going cashless is starting to become the new definition of convenience, and that is why Goyle ensures that you can use your GH Link card to make all payments for fuel and lubricants at any of their over 400 stations across Ghana, which means every time you spend money at Goyle, it will be recorded on your monthly bank statement so you can track and manage your expenses. Now that is convenience. That is good energy. Goyle, Yenara Yenze. Now, if you want something hot to spark your vim this morning, I know I do, why don't you try something sweet and creamy? How about the tantalizing aroma of coffee? Oh, I'm sold. All you need is 1 Ghana cedi and a cup of hot water as part of an awesome breakfast. Now, with only 1 Ghana cedi, try the new Nescafe Sweet and Creamy. Mild coffee that is sweet and creamy. So what are you waiting for? Try and you will thank me later. Breakfast just got better with Nescafe Sweet and Creamy. It all starts with a Nescafe. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA. When we come back, a little bit more on this, but also MMDCEs will be fired for what?
So they worked
contributing
against,
to the losses
the parliamentary candidates.
of parliamentary How about Samsungi? Well, if it didn't come from the senior minister, I wouldn't have taken it seriously. But it did, so I will after these.
What would you do with 50 gigabytes free data? Would you binge watch TV all day? Would you download FIFA 21? How about downloading your entire coursework? Or you do all at the same time? See, Surfline has a way of giving you value like no one does. 50 gigabytes free data when you get yourself a Surfline device? Now that's a sledgehammer. Don't miss out on anything. Get yourself a Surfline device today from any Surfline shop and get 50 gigabytes free data to do all you ever wanted on Ghana's only true 4G LTE network.
Surfline, it's about time. Hey, bro, I dey feel your ride. It's so smooth.
You know, this vehicle runs on Gold Super XP Run 95, loaded with additives.
Expensive, right?
Not at all. Gold Super XP Run 95 is of higher grade, but sold at the same price as the regular fuel.
Unbelievable.
It is designed to burn slowly, improves fuel economy, keeps engines clean from carbon deposits, and gives less vibrations.
All that at the same price as regular fuel?
Absolutely. Remember, there's also additivated diesel XP to make the offer complete. No driver needs to pay more for any higher grade fuel.
Goyle, good energy.
Hello, my neighbor. Gets too much data. Gets too much talk time. And too much TV. On Vodafone broadband.
Yes! Get up to 200% bonus plus unlimited voice calls on your home phone. And access to exciting content on Showmax in the Vodafone Broadband Too Much Family Christmas promo. Simply top up your broadband subscription with an extra 100 Ghana cedis to enjoy this exciting Christmas offer. Just dial *900# to subscribe. And there is more! Get our smart security cameras, Android TV box, Google Home, cordless home phones, and more at super affordable prices. Visit www.fbb.vodafone.com.ga for more information or any of our retail shops to purchase. Promo runs from now till 31st December 2020. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready?
There is no love like a mother's love. No one can protect them like you do. And now more than ever, it is important to protect our kids from anything that could make them sick. That is why Nido is fortified with iron and vitamins C and D to help support the immune system. So choose good nutrition. Choose Nido. Nido, your love, their future.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Celebrate the new year with ShopRite. We've got great offers and unbeatable deals on everything you need and more. Like a 125-gram pack of Simba chips assorted, only 9 cedis, 49 pesos each. And a 1-liter bottle of Coca-Cola, Fanta and Sprite, just 8 cedis, 29 pesos each. Get to your nearest ShopRite store today for the biggest savings and lowest prices on all your New Year's favorites. Offers valid until 1st January. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Masore mafe wondo yewu brana media makome mu wonfode wontoma wo perfume ageme paso minihwe na ageme su from letter e ma wodo amegoma wonya kwa se me ne bunte metete never odo na twetan yes leather ivo chaka chaka frere me ye monkomo fafa me ne gina home mobo ohunti mi ndidi gare photo kamo ho bre me wodo cheche ne boto ne wuye bia kaso na bra ye be se bo kwan no pa ho na tra ye ko kan tam wo river pra bana beji wodo nguto fasira wodo.
Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7
On every street, in every town, and all across Ghana, everyone has goals. What's your goal?
I want to expand my business in the next year.
I want to own my own house in 5 years.
I want to invest and grow my wealth.
I want to plan for my wedding.
Fidelity Bank understands that individually we are strong, but together we can do more. From our online banking platform where you can make payments and do all your banking transactions. And of course, our best in-class mobile app where you can make investments and track your finances. Our digital products can help you to achieve your goals without having to come to the bank. You and Fidelity, because together we're so much more. Stay safe and observe the COVID-19 protocols.
Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
There is no love like a mother's love. No one can protect them like you do. And now more than ever, it is important to protect our kids from anything that could make them sick. That is why Nido is fortified with iron and vitamins C and D to help support the immune system. So choose good nutrition. Choose Nido. Nido, your love, their future.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Celebrate the new year with ShopRite. We've got great offers and unbeatable deals on everything you need and more. Like a 750 ml bottle of Don Carlos sparkling white wine, only 48 cedis, 99 pesos. And a 500 ml can of Club Premium Lager beer, just 5 cedis, 69 pesos. Get to your nearest ShopRite store today for the biggest savings and lowest prices on all your New Year's favorites. Offers valid until 1st January. Only at ShopRite. Lower prices you can trust always. Alcohol not for sale to persons under 18. Drink responsibly.
Coffee in your cup and Joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back. And the BBC News normally would have been brought to you at 7 o'clock by the kindness of Fidelity Bank, Believe with us. But, throughout this Christmas season, every now and then when the conversation gets heated, we seek your permission to skip the BBC News. Normal service will resume, but right now let's say a big thank you to Fidelity Bank for everything they do. Now, one thing I have come to realize is that life is better when you have a trusted partner, when you have people that you can rely on who are willing and able to have your back. And that is why so many people use Fidelity Bank, because they will provide you with constant support to grow. With Kukua, their helpful WhatsApp banking assistant, Fidelity Online Banking, their Visa, MasterCard, and prepaid cards, and the efficient Fidelity mobile app, you will always be equipped to take on the world and meet your daily and long-term goals. You can check your account balance, you can top up airtime, get mini statements, pay bills, and transfer money on the go. You can even open your account on their website at your own convenience. Now, you should give it a try. Make it happen with Fidelity Bank, because you and Fidelity, together, you're more. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us. Now, Melcom is giving you up to 50% discount on thousands of items for this month of December. Why don't you go along to any Melcom shop across the nation for your Christmas shopping? Terms and conditions apply. Melcom, where Santa shops. Now, Vodafone fixed broadband is just too much. Trust me, I know, I have it in my house, and these guys are fantastic. You can get on the fixed broadband Too Much Family Christmas promo to enjoy up to 200% bonus data, unlimited voice calls, and more. All you have to do is top up your monthly fiber broadband subscription with an extra 100 Ghana cedis, and it will give you up to 200% bonus data. Me, I'm doing this. It's brilliant. I don't run out no matter what I do. I can download the moon cry and still have some left. You also get unlimited voice calls from your home phone and access to exciting Showmax content to connect, browse, and chill with your family throughout this Christmas period. The Too Much Family Christmas promotion gets an even better twist with many smart home devices and entertainment content on offer. Get security cameras, Android TV box, Google Home, sleek cordless home phones, and more at unbelievable prices with tons of unlimited freebies. This Vodafone promo is just too much. Dial *900# or just go to fbb.vodafone.com.gh or any of their retail shops to subscribe. The promotion will run from now until the 31st of December 2020. Terms and conditions apply. Ready? Okay, so just before we get back into our conversation, the nutrition line comes up, and that is thanks to Nestle, and they offer good food for a good life.
You know those people who go to special occasions and celebrations just for the food. Because at special occasions, the food is always on point and everything there. Yes, you know yourself. You go for round 1, round 2, and even takeaway.
Hey, Charlie, you have not served that soup.
Madam Crab, I've served this table before.
Okay, you don't have to embarrass yourself like this, because now you can get that special taste in your cooking every day. Introducing the new Maggi Dedede seasoning from Maggi, made from natural fish, shrimp